Hi, my name is Lee, and today I am going over my autumn reads. It's a wrap-up, you know it. Yeah! I don't tend to read as much in the autumn. From September to early December is kind of autumn for me. Some of this it used to be like school would start at this time, so I got really caught up in schoolwork and I wouldn't read as much. And then other times it would be National Novel Writing Month, try and get as many words in as possible, not reading as much because I'm just focusing on writing a story instead. So I don't have as many books to talk about. Those are my excuses. So I want to start by talking about two graphic novels I read, The Resident Alien, Volumes 1 and 2. I started watching this show in January on Sci-Fi. I love this show so much. I think I've watched it 3 times already, and it only has 1 season of like 10 episodes. I don't know, I just love the TV show so much. So I started the graphic novels, and I'm enjoying those. I just finished the 2nd volume a few weeks ago. Resident Alien is about an alien who crash lands on Earth and takes the form of a human and then becomes a doctor, and he's an alien. And so he's learning about humanity. Well, he's also a doctor, but because he's a doctor, he gets roped into figuring out murders. And so it's a detective sci-fi mystery book, and I've been obsessed with it. You already know this because you've been watching my channel, that I read The Paris in the 20th Century by Jules Verne. I have a TBR jar video up already about it. Currently, I've been reading Venus and Adonis from my TBR jar, so check that out when it comes out. Also, I finally finished, for me, this took me a while. I'm terrible with short stories. I don't really love short. If it's not a fairy tales are different. For me, I love fairy tales. They're short, they're sweet, I love them. But short stories, usually I take them and I leave them. I don't love short stories. All this to say that I finished an anthology of Rex Stout's short stories that were published in newspapers and magazines throughout the early part of the 20th century. An Officer and a Lady, and Other Stories by Rex Stout. So these are short stories by one of my favorite authors, Rex Stout, who wrote the Nero Wolfe novels. And they are short stories usually about the battle of the sexes, usually mental battles between men and women. Some of them are romances, some of them are not. I feel like the title story, An Officer and a Lady, is the best story in this, but that might just be me. Another book that I want to mention quickly that I didn't love and I'm probably going to get rid of soon, but I mentioned in my top 5 TBR of 2021 is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. This is a book about 2 sisters who are in a super sexist, misogynist society where women are graces and they have to be nice and sweet and docile, and how they're not allowed to read. And then one of the sisters learns how to read, but the other one takes a fall for it and gets sent to a penal colony where she has to fight other women to the death, while the sister who can read, has to deal with court intrigue. I read this really fast. It was really fast-paced. It's fun. It's interesting. It could have been deeper, but it's YA, so it's not gonna be that deep. But yeah, I did really enjoy this, and I'm going to read the sequel / second part of the duology, Queen of Ruin, hopefully in 2022, but we'll see when I get to it, because my reading TBR is longer than I am. Then I read Wilderness Days by Jennifer L. Holm. This is the 2nd book of the Boston Jane trilogy. I love this trilogy. It's about this young woman who goes from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States to get married to her childhood sweetheart. But when she gets to the colony, the encampment where her boyfriend is supposed to be so they can get married, he's not there. He's gone off. So it's about her and having to survive in this wilderness area where she's this posh lady in the early days of America, and this is not what she signed up for. I just really like this series. Wilderness Days is about her going into the wilderness after she meets a ghost, and it's so much fun. We're excited about reading the last book of this trilogy in 2022. The only book I read during November was Betsy and Joe by Maud Hart Lovelace. This is the last of the high school times of Betsy. The next book is Carney's House Party, which I'm very excited for. And this one, Betsy and Joe's stars have finally aligned and they are finally going to start dating, except Betsy has another suitor too, and so it's about their love triangle. Yup. And I mean, it's in the title, we know who wins. Lastly, I just finished this yesterday, or 2 days ago. The Story of the Nutcracker by Alexander Dumas, his retelling of E.T.A. Hoffman's Nutcracker. He retold this from the German to the French in like 1817 or something. So this is a very old story. It's what the ballet is based off of. If you've seen the ballet, you know what the plot is. It's about a young girl named Marie, not Clara, who she and her brother Fritz are given a nutcracker at Christmas time, and the nutcracker comes to life and saves Marie from the evil Mouse King. I love this story. This one gives you unlock Drosselmeyer's tragic backstory in this one. I did really enjoy this. It was a 4-star read for me, which is kind of weird for Alexander Dumas. Is usually a 5-star read at least. I love Alexander Dumas. But Marie is described as being 7.5 during a lot of the story, and that is just too young for some of the stuff that's happening. It's just a freaky book for a 7.5-year-old. Please just age her up to 12. Maybe 16, actually. Let's go with 16, I think. That's my wrap-up for autumn. Tell me what you read in autumn. Do you read a lot in autumn? Do you read less than I do in autumn? I read very little in autumn. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment talking about what books you read in autumn. What was your favorite book? Have you read any of these books? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you're so inclined. I'll see you soon with a new video as soon as I can. And I hope you're having a lovely afternoon and are reading good books. Bye! Ugh, trying to make this short and quick so it's easy to edit. I have been reading. Hi, Ginge. Their stars have aligned.